Intuitive viewers, how are you? I hope you're doing well today and happy Sunday. So I wanted to look at some viewer questions today, and there's it's kind of um, a lot of different kinds of questions. I did want to make you aware of one thing, which is that I watched, not that he's the end all be all about this, but there was a really interesting video that I think it's Noel Castler that used to work with Trump on Apprentice. He's been very outspoken and about everything. And he said that he had inside information that Trump had made a deal with the Russians having to do with this Afghanistan stuff and the Taliban and everything. So he's on Twitter. I saw this on Twitter. So, but I really do feel like there's going to be stuff coming out about Russia. Like I said, I saw this every time I would see the footage of Afghanistan, I kept seeing Russia. So I know there's a Russia connection. Yeah. So I just wanted you to be aware so you could go look at it if you're interested. If you're not, that's totally fine. Okay. So, I also wanted to let you know that at the bottom of in the description, Catherine gave us information for if you want to contact any of the DC officers, just send your support that you are with them, whatever. If you want to do that, she gave us the information, so it'll be below. Okay. All right. So the first question I had was in a way, kind of a spiritual question. I mean, it was a spiritual question, but it's talking about what we've talked about before about the two earths, or the new earth, or the shift that we keep talking about, this kind of shift in vibration that's happening. And of course, I don't, and I'm sure most people don't have a clear picture of exactly what this is all about, but we feel it coming. We feel like it's in motion. But somebody asked me, in the context of, if one is 3D and one is 4D, like we're moving to the 4D. If you're an enlightened being, if you're enlightened at all, and kind of aware of the bigger picture, you'll be kind of moving to the 4D, and then the 3D will be people that they're just not ready. So this person was asked me to ask my guides what would happen to these people. This person, it was kind of in the context of, will they ever be able to move, because we're moving on, basically we're moving on, without them. So I'm going to ask what will happen to those people that are kind of staying where they are, kind of refusing to move, or refusing to back away from any of their beliefs. So, okay, so 1 second. Okay, so absolutely, positively, the door never closes. They're always able to move when they're ready. Some people will be ready, some people won't. Some people may never be ready in this lifetime, so they'll have to do some work, on the other side, or they'll have to say, oh yeah, that's weird, I forgot all about this stuff. I was completely lost in form in my life, in ego. But it is like the door never closes. Basically, it stays open. So I hope that explain it. It very, very simple, because it came across very strongly and very simplistically, like this door never closes. When they're ready, they're ready. And when they're ready, the door is there. Okay, so there you go. Okay, and somebody wanted me to look at Roger Stone. So I'm seeing, I'll just tell you the scene I'm seeing. Piles of money, and then I realize it's in a bank, and then I realize it's not accessible. Okay, this is a problem for Roger Stone for some reason, and I feel like it's like his fault. So I feel like it's his fault. People are angry at him. but it also affects him too. He's going to court. He's going to lose money. He's losing money now. I'm just correcting that. Okay. So this is interesting because I'm seeing the date of, the speech that Trump gave before the insurrection, and they were like, he's going to go to the Capitol. That thing we keep seeing over and over again. Go to the Capitol. However he says that. Anyway, I'm seeing that, and so I feel like this is about the insurrection, but it's about before the insurrection. It's about the incitement part. And I'm seeing that what's his name? Mo Brooks, I think. I'm seeing him and Mike Flynn and Don Jr., Alex Jones. There's going to be charges. There's going to be charges. One of these, I think one or more of these people have to do with this raid, I keep saying. And when I see something like that, I think I've said this before, but I just in case anybody's new and doesn't understand what I'm doing or talking about, if I see something clearly and I keep seeing it, and it like maybe doesn't happen right away, I usually know if I see something and I see it clearly that it's either going to happen like the next day or the next few days or like that week or something. It's close, so really, really close, so I can see it, or it's significant. And to me, this raid feels like a turning point. That's what it feels like. It feels like things have turned. It causes a lot of upset and anger on the right, but they do it. And to me, it's weird because it feels kind of like the FBI, and yet when I say FBI, it's kind of like no. So I don't know. Does the CIA raid people? What other entities raid people? So anyway, I feel like that's coming. I'm also seeing Matt Gates. So I feel like something's imminent for him. And I realize that this stuff is frustrating, right? Because it's like, where is the DOJ? What is going on? Trump's running around giving rallies, making everything work. It's like, I understand the frustration, and all I can do is tell you what I get. That's what I got. And there's a reason I'm getting it. Otherwise I wouldn't get it. So I feel like our patience is in short supply right now, but it's in order. There's a lot. When I think about this stuff, the feeling that comes over me is, don't worry about it. We got this. We got this. We're already on it. Don't worry about it. It's that kind of feeling. Like you don't have to talk about this. It's a done deal. It's going forward. We're already on it. That's the way it feels. So, and this is like I said, our dream scenario is for these people to get arrested, be enlightened, all their supporters be enlightened, and everybody comes to the light. That's what we want. That's because that's who we are. We want people to just be normal, for lack of a better word, just be normal. But that is what we want, right? That's what we're hoping for. That's the outcome we're hoping for. The sad thing is that it's not going to be realistic for everybody. It's going to be realistic for some people, but someone like Trump, who's really, really, really lost. it may not be possible. I never say never, because it absolutely could be possible that he goes to jail and comes out a new man. And I remember at one time I was seeing that. I was kind of, and I think it's the probability, right? I'm looking at the most probable at the moment. And so right now, it's not as probable as it was at one time. He's gone far off the deep end, right? And now he's on to this I'm still president weirdness. So it is how free will works, and it is how probability works. So all those people, okay, I was looking at Roger Stone and all those other people came up. So there's something brewing here. I can tell you what it feels like, and it feels like it's already in motion, like there's nothing that can really stop it at this point. And it feels like October, November, those are going to be not just big months, but like historic months. I do feel like there's going to be these isolated kind of acts of violence, or kind of like what we saw with this guy in front of the Capitol last week that got arrested, that kind of stuff, pockets of little explosions of anger is what it feels like. It just feels like people can't hold it in anymore. And that's the kind of stuff they turn to, because it's and that's it's a very low vibrational way to fix problems, right? Very, very low vibration. The lowest vibrations are those ones where it's like, and I don't mean the self ones, like shame or guilt, those kind of things, but those low vibrations of war and fighting, like physical fighting, name calling. They're just so in such a muck and mire that I just feel like don't go down there. Don't allow yourself. And you can watch the Afghanistan one that I did to kind of talk about that we just, our number one thing is to not become unconscious ourselves, not to get drawn into it on that level. Okay. All right. So there's somebody wanted me to look at a medicine that's good for, I guess it's used for cholesterol, and they're thinking it could be good for the virus. So I wanted to look at that. It's called like fenofibrate, something like that. But they're showing it as though that drug may be a starting place for a treatment. It's not like cells hitting each other, and then it's like it's weird. Okay, I'll just tell you what I'm saying. It's like a cell goes into another cell and bursts it apart. That's what it looks like. So I don't know if that's if this is what this already does, or this is what they want. They're wanting to get to that, so that does that. But I feel like this drug is like a starting place. It's in there. It's going to be like tweaked and made stronger, grown, like it grows stronger, but they're tweaking it as well. So that's the answer I'm getting. And anytime with medical stuff, I don't know anything about this stuff. So I just have to really like literally tell you what I see. And even then, I'm sure it can be off, because I just don't have any context at all. I just don't. So I apologize for the crudeness of like what I'm explaining, but that's what I'm being shown. So, okay. Okay, and somebody wanted me to ask if there's going to be any legal action taken against, there are like MDs on YouTube that are spreading information that's can be harmful, I guess. So the first question they wanted was, are they really doctors? So I'm getting yes, technically, yeah. The things they're talking about, they're not experts in, or they're not doctors in that. Not all of them, maybe some of them are, but I'm getting a kind of like, yeah, kind of, but the things they're talking about, they don't really have, like, they might be like dentists or something, you know, that kind of doctor. They don't really. And I do feel like, though, there's a part of them that does believe it, but I also feel like there's a part of, and maybe it's like some of the people are kind of like, they really do believe this stuff, and other people really are just kind of scamming, I guess. This is for entertainment purposes only, by the way. Entertainment purposes only. Okay. As far as legal action, I feel like, so they're showing me like tied hands, like their hands are tied, kind of. There must be loopholes or law loopholes or something that they're getting away with this. And it feels like there's not a whole lot they can do. I feel like personal, like if somebody was personally hurt, they could sue them or try to sue them, but it feels like it's very difficult. Like there's loopholes or holes in the law that these people are kind of working through. So it would be hard. Let me just put it that way. All right. And then somebody wanted me to look at Fox News, because they keep on, spreading misinformation about lots of different things. For some reason, I just got really warm. So that usually tells me there's like, it's like putting them in the hot seat. There's going to be something about a trial or a questioning or something that's coming. It also feels like they may have to pay, like there might be some settlements made with people. To me, it feels like people that have been it almost feels like states, which is kind of weird. Like the state, like, I guess it could be lawmakers, but it's like states. To me, it feels like states. It could be lawmakers of those states or people in those states or something, or the state, the state of Washington versus whatever, but versus Fox News. But I guess the short answer is yes. It looks like there's trouble coming, and I've always seen them kind of being pulled apart by lawsuits. I just heard shut it down, but I saw OAN. So I don't know if OAN is going to be shut down at some point, or. And I apologize for my confusion. I know some people say it's confusing when you just, rattle up, but I'm just telling you what I'm getting as I'm getting it. And I'm trying to process like the feelings I get when I feel these things. But to be honest, this feels like a lot, and it feels kind of confusing. It feels like, it almost feels like a lot at once. So there's like a bunch of lawsuits or laws passed and lawsuits at the same time. It feels like a lot of things are coming at once. And OAN, I'm getting at some point they may have to just stop, like roll it up, stop doing what you're doing. Okay, so I am gonna just say this. I don't want to say this on YouTube, but I'm seeing something with Mike Lindell about to go down. So, and again, and entertainment purposes only, there's something with Mike Lindell that's coming up. Let me just I'm going to do a quick read on him real quick, because like, what is with this guy, right? I got, you know, I looked at him before and I got that he wasn't, it didn't seem like he was back on drugs. It seemed like a fallout from his drug days, but that he wasn't actually doing drugs. So, but I want to look at him real quick. So let me look at Mike Lindell. Ask my guides to see what they can tell us about him. I just heard, you know, standing up for what's right. So I feel like he really does believe this stuff. He really does think he's standing up for something. And he's sure he's right. He's convinced. He's convinced himself. And it's interesting though, because I feel like some of the people around him don't believe this at all. They're just doing this to be obnoxious and to, you know, poke holes in the system, but he really does believe this stuff. And he's very, I mean, so I'm going to step into his energy, or I'm going to tune into him real quick because I want to see what is going on with him. There's a nervousness and a paranoia that's taking over here. It seems like they're out to get me. They're tapping my phone. They're watching me, that kind of stuff. Very, very like paranoid rhetoric. That's what it sounds like. Something has happened. This is a break with, it's like a psychosis almost. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like a normal human being at all. Feels like somebody that, and they're feeding him this too. It's, I think we talked about this before, that there's somebody, and it came out, I think on like Rachel Maddow or one of those, that there was somebody, there like a person saying these lies and saying like, I have proof and and that came out. So we know that. But this feels like almost like a group that is getting money from him and like milking him for his money. So it's interesting because it almost feels like he has the right to be paranoid because people are taking his money and people are giving him misinformation, but it's the people he trusts. It's the people he thinks are on his side. That's who's doing this. Okay, and then I'm seeing this other thing that I don't really want to say, but you can imagine. This feels like a complete distancing from reality is what it feels like. So that's Mike Lindell. So sad to me when you see these people like Mike Lindell or like Don Jr., who clearly they need help. They need help. They're losing it. They need help. And there aren't people around them, it seems, that love them enough to get them help. It's pitiful in a way, you know. If they weren't doing so much damage, you would feel sorry for them, but it is pitiful. It really is. And stepping into his energy is not pleasant. It's confusing. It's paranoid. It's not really even anger, just like panic, upset. It's very, very sad, very sad. Okay, so I think that was all the things I was supposed to look at that I can remember, and that I have written down. So I think that's it. I did have one message that I wanted to give you that was from Spirit that I wanted to give you. It's about, and I, it comes along the lines of, you remember back during the Amazon fires, I got that message that there would be a lot of people and animals leaving in groups, and that the reason they were telling us this was not to panic us and say, "Oh my gosh, people are going to be leaving, and everyone's leaving," and it wasn't to do that. It was to let us know that it's something that is being put into motion, because that was what was decided if it comes to this, basically. So like, we're having a dinner party. Do you want to be in the front of the house, taking orders, or do you want to be in the kitchen? And people decided pre-party, pre this period of time and the stuff that's unfolding, where they wanted to be. And so that's where they're going. And that's where they had said they wanted to be. And the animals, to me, and there's also, along with that, there's also a readjusting, or a balancing that's going on as well. Things trying to kind of balance out, and it is part of this kind of raising the vibration, right? There are people that are believing, and there's more people coming in. There's more spirits coming in, and those spirits happen to be a much higher vibration. And it will be, okay, they just said this, it'll be within animals as well, not just people. It'll be animals. Animals already have a very high vibration, but it's almost like they're going to use them as well to come in and bring in this very, for lack of a better word, I mean, vibration seems to be the thing. It does have a very physics feel to it. Energy, I guess, would be another, a lighter, gentler energy that is powerful, but more loving and lighter, and but also an energy of action as well. So it kind of goes along the lines of that, which is that they asked us to start being aware of our food, what we put in our body. And what they showed me was me. It's like, you are guilty of this too. Of course I am. I mean, I'm just in the mix, right? I'm right there with you guys. So I'm very imperfect. And they showed the Skittles, right? I love candy. I can't even go into candy, talking about candy, because I love candy, but, and just the ingredients in a Skittles, like one little Skittle with the ingredients in it. And I also felt like there was something about meat as well, red meat specifically, but meat, where it comes from, what's in it, how do they keep the animals that are, before they kill them for this. And I know that, of course, there's a spirituality around being a vegetarian or being vegan. To me, that is a very high vibrational thing to do and to be. But this was more along the lines of be aware of this stuff and pay attention to it. And the fewer ingredients in something, the better. That was the feel. And no one could be more upset about this message than me. So it made me feel like, okay, I'll kind of just give you exactly what I kind of felt like this might be. It could be something with the food that's coming up, with meat that's coming up. It could be something like that. Absolutely. So that's why I feel like either way, take heed, listen to this message, do what you can. I also felt like it could have something to do with all of these kind of, not so much like autism and stuff like that, but more like autoimmune stuff that there may be a linking to food soon, or certain types of food with certain types of people. Like if you are type, A blood, you shouldn't be eating wheat, something like it's like some kind of, not like that at all, but something like, a realization of some kind. There's some realizations coming about food and the way it interacts with us. And so it's almost like get a jump start on this. Start paying attention to what's in your food. And then also the paying attention of like what it does to you. So like every time this is not me, but for example, every time I eat pizza, I feel sick the next day. Well, look at that and see why that could be, and track it and pay attention to it. And don't eat pizza anymore, or whatever, but it just feels like start paying attention and being like alert and aware to these things. Okay. So it was a very strong message, a very powerful message, one I didn't want to hear, but I needed to hear. And my guides know that. They know me. So they showed me a Skittle and they're like, this is what we're talking about. You too, loud and clear. So that's what I got. And, I sometimes get messages about, you're long-winded, or, you say things over and over, but it's partly my personality and partly the way I receive information. It's very fast, and then I have to process it fast. And so I might stutter my words or say things again and again to make sure I'm getting it right. Waiting for the chills to get, to hit me. So I know, okay, that is right. This stuff is, I feel like this message is correct in the way I've given it to you guys. So I hope that you hear that and listen to whatever way you think you need to integrate that into your life, then do. All I can do is just deliver the messages, right? I'm just a messenger. All right, guys. So I will talk to you soon, and take care of yourselves. And on Thursday night, by the way, thanks for hanging out with Rob and I talking about dreams. We had some technical issues. It's kind of annoying at times for everybody involved, but it was a lot of fun. And I just felt like it was very well intended, because I just wanted to get us just thinking about something else at that point. I just felt like the news was very heavy week vibrationally. And I just felt like it would be nice to get together and just talk about something else. So I hope that it was fun for you. It was for us. So, but I will be doing Thursday Night Live this Thursday night live. So just be aware. And if you have questions for me, just be there on Thursday night, and I will answer them for you. Okay. I do want to remind you that September 1st, I'm going to be opening up appointments for next year. So just know that I'm letting you know. So it'll be September 1st. Just go to my website, intuitiview.com, and get an appointment if you like. The prices have gone up a little bit. It has been 3 years since I started doing this. So I did wait, but I'm going to be doing a far fewer of them, and be really concentrating on classes and stuff next year. So they're a little bit higher, but they're not, it's not extortionate. It's just a little bit higher. I just wanted to make you aware. And I can't wait to talk to everybody. And I'm blessed to be able to talk to all of you, because you're all wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people that I'm privileged to be in contact with. So that's all. Long-winded me. Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye.